Welcome to Keepin' It Real, your go-to radio show for fresh insights and vibrant introductions. Get ready to dive into a world where we offer you the latest in real estate wisdom and the juiciest community tidbits. From expert advice courtesy of top realtors to opportunities to give back through local charities, we've got you covered. Plus, we'll shine a spotlight on the young athletes driving our local sports scene and uncover the buzzworthy happenings both in town and beyond. Stay tuned for a jam-packed hour of enlightenment and entertainment right here on Keepin' It Real.
All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Keepin' It Real. I'm Dion Ethell. I'm here at the Sherry Ethell Team, Long Realty Studios, right here behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. And today we have a great lineup today, wonderful guest. I'm excited to have him in the studio. But before we get to that, I kind of want to give a shout out to a couple of things that are going on this week and then in the coming weeks. Definitely want to get you out to Pirates of the Caribbean, the 2025 Relay for Life of Sierra Vista. It's today at 2 o'clock. It runs till 10 o'clock at Veterans Memorial Park. So that's where it's all going down. It's a great event, and it's a community gathering, team fundraising, it's a cancer walk where members take turns walking around the track, signifying cancer never sleeps, and it symbolizes perseverance and the actions needed to change the future of cancer for their patients. Now, the mission of Relay for Life is to raise funds to improve cancer survival, decrease the evidence of cancer, and improve the quality of life for cancer patients and their caretakers. The American Cancer Society's vision is to end cancer as we know it for everyone. And their signature elements at this event is there's a celebration of cancer survivors and caregivers. I think that's pretty cool that they include the caregivers in there too, because they're a big part of it, whether they're family, friends, or licensed caregivers. But it's such a great, event. The Luminaria will be there to honor and remember the loved ones and the opportunities to fight back against cancer. It's a great time to get out there. And, so many people have been touched by cancer. Almost everybody knows somebody who has passed from cancer, a family member, a friend, but he was touched by cancer and beat it, but a lot of people have been touched by this thing, and this is a really big event. And it's why they all wear purple. Every cancer has its own designated color, and purple represents all types of cancer, and it symbolizes hope. This is the 31st year for Sierra Vista participating in this event that's been 40 years running. So it's just an amazing activity. There's going to be a live DJ, theme laps, the frozen teas, hula hoops, bubbles. The JROTC is going to do cadence and all kinds of cool stuff out there. You'll have treasure hunt, raffles, great prizes. There's even going to be a kids play and activity area, which is really cool. They brought that back. And then there's the Mr. Relay, and which everybody loves, and the food vendors. So definitely a great opportunity. Come out all throughout the day. You don't have to stay the whole time, but if you want to, there's some great things, and there's going to be some surprise prizes for those people who stick around. So definitely want to try to do that. And that's a spectacular chance to win great prizes. And so you won't want to miss that. Again, this is just a great opportunity to gather together to kind of celebrate cancer survivors and get out there and walk for somebody or walk in memory of somebody or send up one of those luminarias. And what they're going to be doing is they're going to be holding those things down in place with canned food. So don't forget, bring your canned foods. Make sure it's not expired. It should be, good through the end of the summer, this next summer, 2026. So I think it's June or July 2026. They want those things to still be good by then, because obviously they're going to give them to a food pantry, and that's super, super, super important. So just something out there. Another shout out we want to give, just a special shout out to the Lions Club International. The Huachuca City Lions Club's offering a car show, and you know how we love car shows. We do. It's also today, and it's really coming up fast. Registration's open from 9 to 10 a.m. The show's from 9 to 1 p.m. It's only $20 the day of, and there's a 50-50 raffle and door prize raffles, so definitely want to take part of that. There's trophies awarded at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, food vendor on site. It's located across from City Hall near the city pool in Huachuca City. So that's the Huachuca City Lions Club car show, and a great opportunity to come down and bring your car if you're a car enthusiast, or even if, you just want to hang out and see some cool stuff, that's a great place to be. Now, one of the things we want to give a shout out to, we got Halloween coming up in the park at Veterans Memorial Park. The Women's Council of Realtors, they are putting on that huge event, and it's going to be so much fun. There's going to be all kinds of trick-or-treaters. So many people come out in town, thousands of people all dressed up. It's really fun. It's great to see the kids out there. They enjoy this great environment, get tons of candy at one place. Great opportunity for parents, I'm sure. But they need volunteers too. So if you're interested, contact the Women's Council of Realtors here in town. They'd love to be able to help you get involved at the Halloween in the park. And that's at Veterans Memorial Park on Halloween, the 31st. Now, one last thing, too, we want to shout out for is the third annual Pups on Parade. That's right. The pups are back. It's a free, family-friendly event, and it is not like any other dog show you've ever seen. So this dog show is shelter dogs are the show dogs, and a little different kind of a twist. And they're from the Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center right here in town, our local shelter. So it's in cooperation with the Sierra Vista Police Department and the Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center. That's all the wonderful ACOs and folks out there who work there and volunteer there. They'll all be out for Pups on Parade this year. It's brought to you by Doc's Watering Hole, where it'll be held at, and the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. And it'll be on November 15th, 2025 at Doc's Watering Hole from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There's going to be on-site adoptions for those of you who would like to get a pet and are considering that, so you'll have that opportunity. And, of course, there will be awesome food and beverages, great music, a silent auction, vendors, and, of course, those puppy hugs and kisses. You can come down and meet the pups themselves before and after the event. So it's a great opportunity to come down, celebrate these great dogs, and to give them some love out there and cheer them on as they strut their stuff down the big green runway, that turf runway. They really love the event. I think you'll love the event. Come down to Doc's Watering Hole on November 15th, 2025, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and enjoy Pups on Parade. Now, one thing I do want to mention is we're still looking for silent auction sponsors. So that silent auction, we're accepting donations from both individuals and businesses for these. Build a basket, donate an item, or simply donate some funds to purchase an auction item, and we'll take care of the rest and put it in your name. We're happy to display business cards, logos, or your name with your generous gift, or if you want to be anonymous, we got you covered for that too. We'd love to have you at the show. Remember that all donations are tax deductible and benefit the nonprofit Friends of the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter in support of the Sierra Vista Police Department and the Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center. Or you could sponsor a pup. Now, the sponsorships, they're special. So they actually help cover some of the medical costs, the adoption fees. We get them all spayed and neutered and vaccinated and get them all ready, get their health checked out, and before they go out to adoption. So we want to make them all ready to go and free. Last year, we actually sponsored every single dog at the shelter. We hope to do that again. So it's only $300 to sponsor a show dog, or $150 for one of the shelter dogs left behind. And you'll see their pictures. You'll get your name and your business if you've got a business, or it could be an individual or family. And we'd love to show that up on the big screens. We give shout outs on social media, shout outs to the event, and best yet, your gift will help cover all those medical and adoption fees that go to the shelter dogs to get them on the road to finding their forever home. And don't forget, they're all tax deductible, and they benefit your local nonprofit, Friends of the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter, in their support of the SVPD and the Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center. Call Sherry at 717-599-2439, and we can get you hooked up with a sponsorship of these great pups or the silent auction. Again, that's Pups on Parade. That's November 15th, 2025, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Hope to see you there cheering on the pups. And don't forget to pick your favorite pup, because you get to pick the award for that. And there'll be all kinds of awards for all the pups and some great opportunities to hand those out. So come on down. Let's get everybody involved and help us out with this great cause. So we're going to get our guest into the studio and settle in and get him all ready. And we'll be right back after these brief messages.
What's in a name? Everything. Long Realty has been a cornerstone of Southern Arizona's real estate market for nearly 100 years. Our name is our bond, and our agents are our strength. Trust in the name that stands for experience and expertise. Visit longrealty.com or call 520-459-4993 to connect with an agent today. Long Realty. Smart move.
Good morning, good Saturday morning, and welcome to the Keepin' It Real radio show brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios right here behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. Got a wonderful show today. I got Bill Bonner in here from Rain Photography, and he's going to talk to us all about photography and the art form. And welcome to the show. It's your first time here.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and I'm excited to be here.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, and I don't know that actually we've ever done a photographer on the show, so that's kind of cool. Another new first. But before we kind of get down the road a little bit, we always do this with our guests. We kind of get to know the person behind the business. Behind every business is a cool person here in the community, and behind every person is a story. And so we like to tell that story a little bit. So first start off, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, how'd you get to Sierra Vista? How'd that happen?
Sure. I was actually born in Germany. My dad did 21 years Army and served kind of Germany, then Sierra Vista in Germany, and then Sierra Vista, and he retired.
Oh, wow. So, retired here.
Yeah. And so, I was along for the ride. And that's kind of how I got here, finished high school here, and then did college up in Tucson, got married, had kids, and came back. But my parents have stayed here.
The whole time?
Yeah, the whole time.
After they retired and kind of like that?
Yeah, and so, I come back for holidays and weekends and stuff like that. And then,
What made you decide to kind of end up moving here then after college and all of that?
Yeah, I'd say there was a couple days where I'm just sitting in traffic up in Tucson, and it was just like hours of my life being wasted. Why am I here? Yeah, and Tucson's not the greater part of Tucson is not very pretty, So it's just like you're sitting in industrial, sucking fumes of on the interstate at a standstill, and you're just like, man, I don't know. And so it was kind of like that. And then when we had kids, packing up the whole house to go, run a simple errand, it was 30 minutes one way, and then you unpack the car and you get in the car, get in the whatever you're doing, mailbox or grocery store or whatever you're doing, and then you pack everyone back up and you drive a half hour back, and then you unpack into that. It was just my life.
Yeah,
it was too much. And so we wanted to come back and kind of a little slower pace. I love to travel, but it's great to have a real soft landing. Just a
That's a great way to put it.
A good place to be here, and the weather's always great. And I've been around in the community for a long time, so it's I know a lot of people, and it just kind of fit.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, you said you were born in Germany. Do you have any memories of Germany?
Oh, yeah. We were there about 7 years. So, because we did two
back and forth.
Yeah, 2 tours there. So, I remember the food. I remember a lot of the villages and stuff. My dad was really good about, the Volks marches and stuff, doing the big hikes and stuff throughout the lands. And we did a couple things out into a couple tours into Holland and Austria and Switzerland. And, so I remember a lot of that.
Cool stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
But not every kid gets to do that.
No.
Now, did you pick up some of the language while you were there?
So, just like they have Spanish class here, they had German class there.
Yeah.
So I can count to 10 probably. That's probably what I got.
Yeah.
And
it's funny how if you don't use it all the time, it kind of starts to drift away a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. I spoke Spanish a lot during my career, and then although I could probably interrogate you better than I could ask you about your lunch, but I didn't get to use it very much in those last few years, and so I try to practice it every once in a while.
Right.
But it's slipped away a little bit, so it's tough.
Yeah, it is.
So I appreciate learning a little bit about you and your family and everything, and now your kids are here and they're going to school here locally. What do you like about Sierra Vista? I mean, what are some of your favorites about this town?
I love that everything's close by.
Yeah.
And there really isn't anything that you have to go out of town for unless it's something specialty. Everything can be accomplished in town in 10 minutes or less, and string a couple errands together and you'd be back home and be done. I think that's what I think of right away. And then obviously, like I said, the weather. The weather's just always really great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And great sunsets. It's good that good desert sunsets, and then the diversity. I mean, that you can do. I always tell people that aren't from here, you can do anything in a day.
Yeah.
You could go snowboarding and surfing within a day's drive. and it's just located in a place where you have the mountains, you can get access to a beach, you can, you have parks, you have all the exploration you wanted to ever do outdoors.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so even for me as photography, the conversation always starts like, what do you like in the area? What do you like most? What's foreign to you? And so as you have like kind of a transient community, they'll be like, oh, well, I've never seen mountains. I'd love to have mountains in my photos. Okay, we'll do that. Then it's like other people that maybe have been here the whole time, they want fall colors or something, maybe that you
can't find right exactly here, so you got to drive a little bit too.
Yeah. Had
That's
people
cool.
like, I'd love, saguaros, or, big cactuses, big desert, and we can do that. And then, out west, we have Sonoyta, which is like rolling grasslands. It's like prairie. Yeah. And so anyways, it's just, and there's water. There's water in the area. Like you have to look for it, but it's not like super easy and prevalent. Right. But, there is water if people really want water in their photos and stuff like that. So anyways, it's kind of one of those fun things. One of my clients had asked me, like, I'd love to have, green in my pictures. And they're like, well, when are we shooting? And it's like January. You want green photos in January? And I mean, I found it. I knew a place. But it was just one of those things where, like, there's so much diversity that allows me to stay just very fresh, I guess. Yeah. And, having grown up in the area, I know a lot of places. I was a Boy Scout growing up, so a lot of camping. And so, like, I know, like, the back roads and stuff like that, and I'm always looking for something new. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, and it kind of leads into our conversation about rain photography and kind of getting into your profession. Mm-hmm. So where did rain photography come from? Where did the name rain come from? Sure. Almost sounds German.
Yeah, right. I'm a Christian photographer. And so I love the royal theme of the Bible. Okay. And so I kind of always knew if I had a business growing up, it was going to be rain. I just like that. It was like, it's strong, it's masculine, romantic. And so when I came in and had the logo designed, like I kind of talked about some of that vision. Yeah. And the guy was great and ran with it and came up with a really good logo. And so, yeah, it was just something that isn't super upfront in your face, but it was like something that you could read and understand. Like, there's a little cross in the camera.
Yeah, I see that on your shirt. It's got the little, for those who are listening, and can't see it, he's got a little camera beside the rain, and it's got a kind of subtle cross right in the lens.
Yeah. So it's just, it's just one of those things where that's the way I view the world. Like, that's my lens, if you will. Okay. And so that's kind of where it started. The other side piece of it was I didn't want to name it after myself, just in case, like, my kids wanted it.
Okay, that's kind of a good thing. That's nice.
It kind of is something that maybe future forward they could, if they had the gumption to take on and be a photographer in their lives, then it would be something they could easily take when I was ready. So that was the idea.
Very cool. Very cool. Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. We're going to talk to Bill Bonner some more about rain photography and what it's like to be a photographer and some of the special things you need to know when going into that field. We'll be right back, folks, after these messages. Keep it real. Cochise County, it's that time again. The third annual Pups on Parade is back at Doc's Watering Hole Saturday, November 15th from 11 to 2 p.m.
That's right. Join us at Doc's for music, food, vendors, a silent auction, on-site adoptions, and of course the all-shelter dog pup pageant. 10 amazing dogs from our local shelter will strut their stuff down the runway, competing in fun categories.
This must-see event benefits the Friends of the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter in cooperation with the Sierra Vista Police Department and the whole team at Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center.
Want to help our pups? Businesses and any community member who just loves dogs can donate a basket for the auction or sponsor a pup. $300 for show dogs, $150 for dogs back at the shelter. Call 717-599-2439 for details.
Sponsors get their name up on the big screens at Doc's, on the social media, and shout-outs throughout the show. It's a great way to give back and help the community.
It's a family affair, so bring your friends and family, enjoy some great food, and meet some possum dogs at the big show.
It's Pups on Parade, Saturday, November 15th at Doc's Watering Hole, because every dog deserves their day.
In a town with heart and history, the Sherry Ethell Team is the key. Serving Sierra Vista, we agree. For military law and retirees, stress-free process you will see. Personal care is our guarantee. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team, we never halt. Real experts here to guide your way, making dreams come true every single day. Trusted team that knows just what to do. The Sherry Ethell Team, working for you. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team is your one and only call.
All right, folks, welcome back to Keepin' It Real. I'm Dion Ethell. I'm your host, and this is Keepin' It Real, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios right here in sunny Sierra Vista. And I'm joined with Rain Photography, Bill Bonner. He's the owner-operator, and we're talking photography. So you kind of went through the Rain and how it came about and everything. When did you first start getting interested in photography? How far does it go back?
Yeah. So my mom reminded me in fourth grade, I think we were in Germany, and the school or King or something in the area put out a contest, photo contest.
Okay.
And they handed out, disposable cameras to kids and go take pictures around. Anyways, I ended up winning that. I forget what it was. Big gift card to Burger King probably or something like that.
Yeah.
And the picture hung in the restaurant. And I think that's maybe how far back it goes.
Wow, fourth grade, that's kind of pretty far.
So I always knew I took pictures different. I could watch my dad take a picture and know, you could do it a little different with a better outcome. And, not knowing anything about it, just knowing, like, looking at the scene and looking at what was going on.
So you always had the eye for it.
Yeah, it's kind of there.
Do you feel like it's an artistic eye, or is it something different?
It's it's a couple different pieces, but yes, how when you boil it down, it's how do you take 3 dimensions and make it look good in 2? You know what I mean? That's kind of just like we're on an audio radio show, and I'm talking visual. You know what I mean? It's like the same idea. Is like, how do you take a scene and layer it so that when you compress it into a 2-dimensional picture, it looks good, or it's aesthetically pleasing, And so then, kind of going into, I guess, college, I had an opportunity to take electives and jumped into black and white photography, film photography. And that's kind of where I learned the rules. That's kind of like, the rules of thirds, leading lines, stuff like that you would learn in school. Why one thing works, why one thing doesn't. Learn the rules, then break the rules. That was always the thing. Okay. So this is how you do it, but then do it different, and then you can come up with something different and new. Yeah,
because there's a lot of photographers out there, obviously, and I think most of us, from our area at least, we kind of like grew up with a real camera, not your phone, and so everybody was learning how to use a camera back then. Seems like there's not as many people now actually taking pictures with a real camera, Yeah.
Photography is very accessible now. Anyone with a phone, like you said, can go out and take great
and they're
pictures.
Pretty amazing pictures, some of them. Yeah, the phone does.
You can edit
good.
them on the phone. You can do everything. So
well, we'll definitely have to talk about that and what that does to the industry. But let me ask you. So you've been, obviously, this has been a passion of yours your whole life. When did rain photography become a thing?
Yeah. So after that college class, family kind of chipped in, gave me a DSLR, like a bigger camera, and I was just shooting kind of the family with it and stuff like that, hobby stuff. And people would ask me every year, okay, can you take my Christmas card picture? And I'd go out and do that. And then it must have been 2013, 2014. And someone asked me, hey, can you shoot my twin sister's wedding?
Oh, wow. I was like, that's a big step.
I was like, I have zero clue when it comes to the wedding. And so anyways, I did some research, and I said, as long as you understand, this is what it is. I'm a new hobbyist. It's not going to be, the ability is not going to be there. And, we negotiate on a price, and I need a couple specific pieces of equipment to be able to do the wedding. And me and my wife did it together. She kind of just helped me administratively, and I photographed everything, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun, like a lot of high pressure.
Were you happy with the pictures and everything when they came out?
On the day it was done, it was good. But I look back now, and you
could have done better. Obviously, well, I mean, geez, you're look how long you've been in it, and you've been doing a good job with it, and so you get better and better, I'm sure, at that profession.
So after that, it was kind of like the eye opening of like, hey, we could do this. We could probably do this. And so I did it part-time for roughly about a year and a half or something, and got busy enough between my day job and the photography on the weekends and nights.
What'd you do before?
I did a handful of things. Yeah. So in college, I was an intern for Walt Disney World.
Oh, wow.
In Orlando.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Good grief.
And did that for like...
Interesting.
It was a custodial job, but it got me business elective credit for I attended some business classes and stuff out there while we did that. It was great. On paper, it was like, what am I doing? Custodial, bathrooms, trash. Like it was, but it was perfect for me because I got to walk the parks and interact
see the
with
behind
people.
the scenes. That's kind of neat.
And then when I came back, I actually went through kind of the ranks of CVS Pharmacy, Osco Drug, and then CVS Pharmacy, and went from clerk to store manager. Ran pharmacies up in Tucson, and then I transitioned out of that. Retail's not the finest thing.
It's tough. It's a tough business. Yeah, anybody in retail knows.
Then I got in with Mission Linen and Uniform. Did like route running for uniforms, mats, mops. Real stinky job.
Did that kind of help you along doing these different jobs and testing the waters, while you're young and everything? Did you kind of help you go, none of this is for me. I really want to do that other thing, full time. What was consistent was you continued to bump up on that ceiling. Yeah. And, if you wanted to like improve and grow and do things different, it was always like there's always some type of infrastructure that stopped you, the management rules, policies, stuff like that. And that was the thing. I was always hitting that, So I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to kind of be able to explore. If you had a way to do things better, like go and do it, And so that's kind of what I did with Mission Linen again. Kind of did that for about 4 years or something. That was a surprise. It was supposed to be just an in-between. Yeah. And that was and kind of the continuous point through all that was people, and that's kind of what we'll get into with the photography is people. Yeah. It was always relationship building. It was always, how do you deal with a wide range of people. And that was the thing with the linen driving was, I got to know a lot of different people, and they'd hear about, that I did pictures on the side and stuff. And so I'd get a little bit of business from just talking and doing that. And that's kind of where it grew to a point where I couldn't sustain both. Yeah. And so lined it up in a summer where I could kind of do some vacation and get some time off, put my 2 weeks in, and kind of launch full-time photography. Was that scary for you guys? Or was it, who was more scared, you or your wife? Probably my wife, yeah. Easy. Yeah. Yeah. I had enough business set up for about 6 months. Okay. And I was like, that's pretty good, actually. A lot of people don't start businesses with much. So, right. Yeah, that's actually good. And so I was like, if we fall on our face in 6 months, I did really well with the linen, and I was like, I knew I could go back to that real easy. I actually won an award right when I left. Yeah. And so it was kind of cool to know I could fall back on that, and I kind of made sure that those bridges weren't burned or anything. Right. So, keep a safety net. Yeah. And so, nice. But yeah, it just continued to grow and sustain. Thank God. So. All right. Well, that's cool. Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. Let's talk a little more about photography itself, and we'll hear more from Bill Bonner at Rain Photography coming right up next. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. This is the Sherry Ethell Team, Long Realty Studios, keeping it real.
Discover excellence in real estate with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, your premier choice in Cochise County. Sherry's amazing team brings honesty, expertise, and a deep understanding of the local market. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned homeowner, they're committed to your peace of mind and handle every detail for you. Their approach? Personalized service, above and beyond transactional real estate, building lifelong relationships, nationwide connections, local expertise. There's a reason this team is amongst the top realtors in Arizona and across the nation. You owe it to yourself to call or visit the Sherry Ethell Team, the top team at Long Realty, behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more info. Real integrity, real results.
Do uneasy markets have you waiting for the ideal moment to make home ownership a reality? Your answer lies in a conversation with Sherry Ethell and her exceptional team at Long Realty, a name synonymous with trust and reliability in Arizona's real estate landscape.
Hi, I'm Sherry Ethell, Realtor and Team CEO of the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. Your ideal moment has arrived. We tailor our approach to you and your needs and goals. Let us put our extensive network to work for you and take the stress out of the process.
Whether buying or selling, remember the name Sherry Ethell and the Sherry Ethell Team. Visit the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more information. Real integrity, real results.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Keepin' It Real. This is Keepin' It Real, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios. I'm Dion Ethell, and I am your host. If you're just tuning in, I've got Rain Photography Bill Bonner in here, and first time we've had a
go-to radio show for fresh insights and vibrant introductions. Get ready to dive into a world where we offer you the latest in real estate wisdom and the juiciest community tidbits, from expert advice courtesy of top realtors to opportunities to give back through local charities. We've got you covered. Plus, we'll shine a spotlight on the young athletes driving our local sports scene and uncover the buzzworthy happenings both in town and beyond.
Just about everything. The only thing I don't do is
jam-packed hour of enlightenment and entertainment right here on Keepin' It Real.
From, family, kids.
All right,
pets,
welcome everyone to our little community show, Keepin' It Real. I'm Dion Ethell, I'll be your host for another week of guests and interesting facts behind the scenes of what makes Sierra Vista great. If you've ever tuned in, you know that we have a number of different kinds of guests on Keepin' It Real. We host charities, event organizers, the city, local law enforcement, folks from our educational institutions, student athletes, business spotlights, even cool chats with interesting residents. And of course, a little bit about the world of real estate, because it is brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team right here at Long Realty behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. Now, in fact, stay tuned for a soon-to-be-released future show highlighting first-time buyer opportunities, interest rates, and the current local market. So that could be interesting for you if you're in many graduation some real estate and interested in buying your first home. So that'll be kind of cool. Maybe if from my last multiple homes, it could be interesting, and maybe you can tell somebody about it. But today we have a great lineup for you. We have two very special events coming up. So we're going to step behind the scenes with their coordinators, these two local events, and learn all about them and who they serve in our community. I won't spoil their announcements, so we'll dive right in. But after we remind you of a future event for next month that we really want your help and attendance on, I don't know, to me, that's the third annual Pups on Parade at Doc's Watering Hole on Saturday, November 15th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. You'll have music, food, vendors, auction items, on-site adoptions, and of course, our famous pups. And this isn't your ordinary dog show. It's an all-shelter dog pup pageant. Yep, the show dogs are actually all local shelter dogs trying to find a home. It's a unique way to band together with the community. The dogs get to stretch their legs and strut their stuff, and we all get to cheer them on as they walk the carpet. There will be judges for puppy awards, and you can even help us pick the people's choice. All the proceeds go to the Friends of Sierra Vista Animal Shelter to help with all of our wonderful spay and neuter clinics, vaccine clinics, emergency medical services, and really all the other needed services for our community of pets. And of course, special thanks to the city of Sierra Vista, especially the Sierra Vista Police Department and our own Nancy J. Brew Animal Care Center. We really hope to get you out to this awesome free show to support these animals. Of course, donations are welcome, and we'd love you to get in on the amazing prizes and stuff that we'll have on our auctions. You can also get in on sponsorship. Anyone can sponsor a dog, whether at the show or all of those dogs that are left behind at the shelter. $300 covers our show dogs, and $150 for those at the shelter. We'll put photos of the animals with your logo and or your name up on the big screens the day of the event and on social media leading up to the day of the event, plus shout-outs during the event to thank you for your special gift of life. It's a meaningful donation that'll cover adoption fees and some of the spay and neuter microchip and other health-related costs that kind of go into adoption. It's quite expensive these days, but the Friends will help cover the rest. And of course, the entire event is brought to you by Doc's Watering Hole and the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, in cooperation, of course, with the Friends of the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter. All the donations will go to them. The city of Sierra Vista, the Sierra Vista Police Department, and our wonderful friends at the Nancy J. Brew Animal Care Center. The ACOs will be with us to answer questions and help with adoptions, and who are absolutely symbiotic with all of the work that's done together to ensure our community remains free of unwanted pets and our animals are safe. We really couldn't do it without you, so I hope you'll come down. I hope to see you this year at this award-winning celebration of pets this year, the third annual Pups on Parade at Doc's Watering Hole on Saturday, November 15th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's open to the public, and it's free, and bring your kids. It's a family-oriented event, and we'd love to have you. So mark that on your calendar, November 15th. All right, let's get our first guest in the studio and dive in right after a quick break. Don't turn that dial. It's Keeping It Real.
and so I have to wait for the punchline.
What's in a name?
And then
catch them in the moment.
And then when
Long
their heads
Realty
throw
has been a
back and they're
cornerstone
laughing
of
out
Southern
loud,
Arizona's
boom,
real
that's
estate
the
market
picture,
for
boom.
nearly 100
And so,
years.
you know,
Our
so
name
it's
is our
kind of
bond,
stuff like
and our
that.
agents are our
Or if you
strength.
have like the
Trust in the
you
name
have the
that
one-
stands for
the one
experience
kid
and
running around,
expertise.
Visit
making a mess, not being paid
longrealty.com or call
attention to, you know, and you want to see like, okay, where's he
to
going?
connect
What's he,
with an
he found
agent
this.
today.
What's he going to do with it? You know, I mean, like
Long
you
Realty.
can kind of interact with
Smart move.
these random pieces as a, if you
All
want
right,
to call
good
it like a
Saturday
third party.
morning
Like I'm
to
kind of the
welcome
stranger,
everybody
right? I'm the
to
stranger of the
Keepin' It
day.
Real.
And
This is
so
Dion
I'm kind of
Ethell. I'm
floating
your
around. I
host,
can kind of
and
get
we're
in and out of
here at
situations,
Long Realty Studios,
because I
the
don't
Sherry
know
Ethell
anyone,
Team,
really.
right
And
behind
so,
Denny's on Fry Boulevard.
it's
And I am joined in the
looking for those
studio
pieces.
today
And so
with two wonderful guests.
drawing back to the
I've got
photojournalism
Tammy
piece, like, when you
Sappho
talk about, like,
and
street
I've got
photography or
Janet
events and
Morlock,
stuff like this.
and they're both going to
you
talk
have
to
to
us
be able
today
to
about
kind of see
Relay
the
for
pieces in a
Life.
big
Welcome to
room
the studio.
and how they're going to
Glad
interact.
to be
at a
here.
Thank you. Good morning.
See macro.
All right.
and
Well, I kind of
understand
want
when
to
they're
get to
gonna
know
interact
each
with
of you.
micro.
Now, we've had Janet on the show
be
many,
ready
many
for it.
times, but we've
You know?
never had you.
And so then,
so Tammy, I
the
kind of
next
want to
layer
start
is
with
like
you, if that's
lighting,
okay.
Sure.
Background.
Tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
yourself.
all the elements
Like,
that you
how
need.
long have you been involved
Do you ever
in this?
find
How
that
long have you been
when
here
you're
in
trying to get that
Sierra
candid
Vista?
moment?
I've
It might
been
not
involved
always be
with Relay
perfect
for over
a
23
photo.
years. It started as a
How
work
do you deal with
team.
that?
One of our
You're saying like
coworkers
if I
had
get
cancer
the
and she
image, but
started
maybe
a
it's
team.
not perfect.
So that's when I started.
Can you edit some
I
of that stuff?
moved here
or,
back in
you know, a little bit?
1997.
Yeah,
It was
I
my
would say it's
husband's
a
and I
creative
last
cropping
duty
or
station
creative
here at
licensing.
Fort
You know,
Huachuca.
you kind of
Thank you for
you can
service.
kind of
That's
You're
awesome.
welcome.
take out anything.
So you
that's maybe
guys
a
came down to
distraction.
here, and you were,
You know,
was it,
you get
you
into
said a
the visual
coworker?
art.
Yeah,
Because it's kind of hustle bustle at
used
a
to work
wedding
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, you get a lot of
Post,
people
and
moving around.
she had breast cancer, and so
Like
she
at the
wanted
end
to
of it,
start
you
a
get what you
team.
get.
It's not a
So
second take.
that's when we-
Yeah, and I wish you were.
we
You would
joined-
have been my photographer
I
at
joined
my
in.
wedding with
I'm
Sherry.
the third team
She actually made her own
and
bouquet,
so
and she was in there fixing
team
it
has been
right
here
before
for
the
over
wedding. We were
23
getting ready
years
to go from
involved
the
with
hotel,
Relay for
and
Life.
she's literally
that's a long
snapping
time.
every head
That's
off
awesome.
of every flower.
And
on
Janet, tell
accident
us
because
a
she's
little
so
bit about
nervous.
yourself. I'm
Yeah,
sure there's
it's
some new
making me
listeners here
nervous.
who haven't
fidgeting
come
a
up
lot.
to you.
She was like
So
snapping them off,
tell
and
us
she was
about
getting all
you.
panicked.
Tell me your name.
Yeah, she's all
I
in
showed up
tears
here
and
in
like, oh my
73.
gosh,
I
what
was
is
a junior in
going
high
on?
school. Yeah,
Yeah, there's,
that's about
I'm
it.
sure
So I'm
all
almost
kinds of
a
moments
native.
like that. You
And
probably see some
kind
pretty
of
funny stuff
immediately
going on.
after high school, got involved with some volunteer work. Did some
I
volunteer
shoot on average
firefighting,
maybe 12 to
went
24
school
weddings
to,
a
get a degree in
year.
fire science before
And
a lot
so
of
I've been
my
in
gender was
business
being
for
hired. Just a
about
different
11
time, you know,
now,
no
so that puts
regrets.
me
Had a
over
great time
200,
with that.
And now
kind
you're
of-
retired, right?
But
I'm
yeah,
pretty
I am, and
easily
the whole
reaching
the
200
volunteering
weddings
got
over
stuck in my head a
having
lot.
photographed the whole
So
time. And
that leads
so yeah,
to
you have
caring
your
about
things.
you know,
I
like
tell you,
the
if you
plight of the
talk to
cancer
some
patient,
photographers,
then
they either
family
love or
members
hate.
were impacted.
Oh yeah, I'm
And
sure.
that's
started
kind
out
of
doing
it is the kind of the
cancer
breaker
walks
of a
in
photographer.
Tucson,
It's like
where my sister lived.
If they
and then I got
if they
involved,
don't
like
it,
Tammy,
like,
through a
they
work team was
quickly
my
fall
very
out
first
of
Relay
love
for
with
Life.
Relay for Life here? Yeah.
And so you have to
I
really
wanna
kind
say I
of
started
embrace
Relay
what
for
that looks
Life
like and what
Okay.
that day is
2010-ish.
and
Okay.
what that event
So a
is,
bit.
what that
And
job
again,
is.
well, it was a work
I would
team, you
think
know,
too,
that's
if
not
you're
coworker
if you're
with cancer,
like
we put together a
not
team and
enjoying shooting
just
the
walked all
event,
night,
that probably
so,
shows through a little bit. Well, with I your appreciate both of you guys photography, here. I want to learn all about
100%,
the upcoming event.
You know, when
we've talked about it a couple different times. So if you've tuned in before, you may have heard Janet talking about it. We may have touched on it a few times to kind of lead into this event. And now we're here. We're here, and it's coming up here.
It is
so
tough.
tell us.
The lucky thing
why don't you
is, I
tell
guess,
us,
in
Tammy,
some
when
ways
is this
is
event?
that there is some
The event is
expectation
on
of an
Saturday,
artistic
October
perspective,
25th.
with a
So it's
photographer.
close. It's
You
only a week
expect
away.
a little bit of
And
creative
we're going
license
to be
there. But
in the
just having
park setting
somebody
up
tell
early,
you
but
how
our event
things
will
are
start at
supposed to look.
2,
It's
and it'll
really
go through 10
confining
o'clock at
for an
night.
artist. Really
We are
confining.
asking
And so
our
you just kinda think,
survivors to
don't
be
like that.
there.
Yeah.
They usually
You
check in with
probably
me
can
get a lot of
around
people trying
1
to tell
o'clock.
you what to
So
do.
she hands out some
right?
things for the
So,
survivors
early on,
and kind
you
of
have
lets
to
them know what's
start
going on if they're
kind
new
of the
to
words
the
I
event.
live by was like,
And,
show what you
and
want
then
to
we're going to
shoot.
have a lot of great fun.
Okay.
And
We
so
have a lot of
if,
entertainment planned.
If I'm shooting,
So let's
either
talk a little
that's
bit
in
about
subject matter or in
before we
style.
get too much
So
into the
if
details
I'm
into the
wanting to
weeds. Tell
only
me,
photograph
like
couples,
between the two
I'm
of
only
you,
gonna be showing
what
couples
is
on
the
my
Relay
marketing,
for
if
Life?
you
I mean,
will.
really,
So
for somebody who
whatever.
didn't know anything about
And
it, what's
if
it all
I
about?
have a
It
different
is an
style that
amazing
I,
community
maybe a
gathering,
less
and like I say,
traditional
every time
style,
I'm with you,
I'm
no
only
matter
gonna
what
show
we're
those
talking about,
images
Sierra Vista is a
online
marvelous
and promote with
community
those
for
images so that
supporting
people
people
kind of,
who maybe
when
have
they
some
come
tough
into it,
circumstances.
they come into
One
that
of my
conversation
favorite
of
parts
looking
is
to
kind of
hire
a day
me.
camp.
They
We'll all
understand,
hang
like,
out for
this
the
is kind
entire
of already
day.
where they're at.
Teams are
It's
out
gonna be
raising
my
funds
style.
by
And
walking,
so that's
taking
kind of where you
turns
start.
around
That's
the
kind of what you
track
want
to
to do
signify
when you
that
start
we're
out
doing
with
something that the
photography
cancer
is
patients can't
if
do.
you don't like
Back
shooting
in the day, it
don't
was
show
we walk
Yeah.
because they
now
can't
if someone
sleep.
comes to you and say, hey, can you
it's kind of
photograph
backed off.
this
People aren't
thing,
interested in those 24-hour
whatever
and
that is,
12-hour events
and then
anymore.
that's your choice.
People
Yeah,
just,
actually,
it's,
yeah, I remember
society
those.
changes.
I know, yeah,
and,
right. I'd be okay with that, or,
but we still get a lot done in 10
whatever
hours.
kind of the scenario
mission
is,
of Relay for Life
if
comes
they
into
come
play,
to
and
me
it's to
and I've
raise
been
funds to
showing
improve
couples,
cancer
and I've been
survival,
showing kind of this
decrease
flary,
incidences of
vibrant,
new cancers,
maybe
and
deep shadow
improve the
type
quality
look
of life
of
for patients.
photography,
And that's
and they come to me and they're
probably
like,
the
hey,
most
can you do the
important thing we
opposite?
do
It's like,
is we improve the
have you
quality
been
of life,
looking?
not
Like,
only
that's
the
kinda what
patient, but their
my
caregiver
style
and
is,
family.
Yeah. So
It affects
so
everyone.
that's kind of
So the
where
vision, of course,
that's
is
where
to
I
end
start that
cancer as we
conversation.
know for everyone.
In history,
But until then, we
I've
want to
had really
support
great
people
clients.
who
I
are suffering
love
from the
my
disease, and
clientele,
Relay does that with its
and
signature
I don't
element.
really have,
So tell me
a
about
lot
what some of those
bad
elements. So these are the
interactions with
things
people,
during the
'cause by the time
celebration
they come
that
to
they're
me
going to be
and
doing.
they approach
Relay
me
for
or want to
Life,
hire
a lot
me,
of
they've kind
times you
done
may
their
hear
little bit of
Celebrate,
research
Remember,
before,
Fight Back.
where they
Okay.
feel like,
So
I
what
like
that
this, I like
involves
the
is
direction
we're
going here
celebrating
with
our
this photographer,
survivors
and then
who
I take it from
unfortunately
there.
have been told you
That
have
sounds like a
cancer.
good place for a break. Let's take a quick break.
So,
We'll come back. I want to talk to you
we
about
celebrate
relationships
those that are going through
and
the
how
battle
you
right now
build those
of
to
going
get
through
that right
chemotherapy,
spark in
radiation,
your photography.
and also
when
their
we come back.
families, of course,
so
and their
Bill Bonner
caregivers.
with Rain
We also
Photography.
remember
We'll be right back.
those
This
that
is the
we
Sherry
have
Ethell Team,
lost.
Long Realty
And
Studios.
so
Keepin'
the
it
third
real.
word that you'll hear is fight back.
We're the real
and we're
wayfinders,
fighting back
the
against
trailblazers,
all
the
cancers,
go-getters.
hoping
In a
that
town
one
where the
day
desert
we hope
waits
to
before
not
dawn.
have to
We
have
don't
this
just talk,
event
we make
anymore.
things happen.
The other thing
And when we
with the
speak,
Celebrate
it's
and
real.
Remember
It's
and Fight
genuine,
Back
and
is
it's worth hearing.
that's
Tune in every
signified by our
Saturday morning, 8
luminarias
a.m.
that we have
on
at
Canyon
the
Country
event.
97.7
These
FM.
luminarias,
Join the
these
Sherry
are
Ethell
the
Team for
white
Keepin' It Real.
bags.
Where
The
top
majority of them are
local heroes
bags. We
and the
do
heartbeat
have
of
some
our
colored
community
ones that
come
are
together.
purple and gold as
Raw,
well.
authentic
But
conversations,
basically, we
expert
have
market insights, and
participants
the
or
best
just
local
people
events
that
you
are
can't
coming
afford
the
to
day
miss.
of relay
Keeping it real,
to remember their
celebrating our
loved ones.
community.
So usually
Bold,
they'll put in
genuine,
memory of
one of
or
a
in
kind.
honor of. And then we have a luminaria
Cochise
ceremony
County, it's that
that
time
they're
again.
lit
The
up,
third
and
annual
it's
Pups
a
on
beautiful
Parade
sight
is
to
back
see,
at Doc's
and it's
Watering Hole
music.
Saturday,
So
November
we
15th
incorporate
from
the
11 to 2
luminarias to
p.m.
help
That's right.
signify
Join us at
three of
Doc's
the
for
words
music,
that
food,
usually
vendors, a
you'll
silent
hear
auction,
with
on-site
Relay for
adoptions, and
Life
of course
to
the
celebrate,
all-shelter
remember, and
dog
fight
pup
back.
pageant.
I kind of like that one thing that you touched on. You talked about celebration for cancer
This
survivors
must-see
and
event
people who are
benefits the
fighting
Friends
right
of the
now.
Sierra Vista
But you
Animal
also
Shelter
mentioned
in
families
cooperation
and
with the Sierra
caregivers.
Vista Police
So
Department
you're
and the whole
celebrating
team at
those
Nancy J.
people as
Brewer
well
Animal
for
Care
their
Center.
contribution in the businesses fight. and
I
any
don't
community member
think
who
you would
just
talk
loves
to
dogs
one
can donate a
cancer
basket for the auction or
survivor
sponsor
and
a
hear
pup.
that their
$300
family
for show
did make
dogs,
the
$150
difference.
for dogs back at the
So
shelter. Call
caregivers,
717-599-2439 for
you know,
details.
they
Sponsors
help
get their name up on the big
take them
screens at
to their
Docs, on the social
treatments. They
media,
help
and
when
shout
they
outs
get
throughout the show.
down.
It's a great way to
just
give
a
back and help the
support.
community.
It's a
It's
family
very
affair,
much
so
needed
bring your
because
friends
it
and
isn't
family,
always
enjoy some
easy.
great food, and
I
meet
think
some
we've talked
awesome
about
dogs at
this
the
a
big
few
show.
times. It's you know, Pups on as I've had Parade, you on the Saturday, show in November previous years, 15th but at Doc's Janet, Watering but Hole.
There's some
because every
history
dog
here, right?
deserves
This
their
has
day.
been not the first
All
year
right,
you've had
welcome
it,
back.
so
This
you've
is
been doing
Keepin'
it a
It Real
long
with the
time,
Sherry Ethell Team
and
at
of
Long
course
Realty
it's partnered
Studios.
with
I'm
the
here with
American
Rain
Cancer Society,
Photography,
right?
Bill Bonner.
And so tell me a
And
little
Bill's
bit
been
about
walking
kind of
us
the
through
history behind
his
it.
The
expertise
history
in
is
talking
kind of
about
cool, like
photography.
many great things
We had some
that happen in our
talking about
world.
funny
It
things you
starts
see
with a
at
single
weddings, and he
person
does a lot
that
of them.
was
A lot
touched
more
by
than I
something
actually
that
thought
made
you
we
probably
need to
did.
build a better widget
Now,
and we need to
what
do whatever
about
that
when
is.
we left
And
for
in
the
this
break,
case,
we were
it was a
talking
surgeon in
about
Tacoma, Washington.
relationships.
And in
You know, and you kinda alluded
1985,
to
he
that a
had
little
lost a
bit.
young man to cancer.
What-
And he didn't
how do
feel
you-
enough
how do you
was being done
click?
for
You know, how
research,
do you get
enough was
people to
being
click
done
and
for people
Tell
who
me
were
some of that.
facing
Maybe you
this
got a
horrific
story or
disease.
something.
Yeah. Well,
And
I'll tell
so
you start
he
with
spent
liking
24
people.
hours
Start
in a
there.
spring day
You
at
gotta
a
like
university
people?
track
What?
Yeah, I mean,
walking. He walked
if you're getting
83
into a people
miles,
job and you don't
it
really
was
like 'em,
cold
like, I don't know
Washington
how that's
can be
gonna
in the
go.
spring, and
Yeah. I
he
don't
know how
never
that's gonna
sat
go
down.
for
He
you.
never
But,
rested. And
I don't know.
people were
You know,
willing to
I'm a
give him
people
a little
person.
bit of money.
Yeah.
He would
I
allow them to
enjoy-
walk and run
I enjoy
with
talking
him.
to people.
And so that
and
was
kind
the
of
first
getting to
relay
know
for
people,
life. And a
so,
school teacher
you know, a
popped
lot of
up
my
and got a little
photography
media
was kind of
attention
developed
for
based
him
off of
because
maybe
she too
bad
thought it was
scenarios.
important. So the
You know,
single
my
guy on the
wedding
track. Well,
was great,
then in
you know, but,
'86,
there was a
19
lot of
teams
things
around the
that I
country
felt
went, hey,
were
that's a
kinda
great
left on the
idea.
table.
Now
And,
everybody knows about
we
them.
developed
And they're
kind of our
everywhere. And then the
process
next year
and
there's
stuff
more, and the
with
next
a lot
year
of
there's
that
more.
experience.
Well,
Okay.
you think
Personal
ACS maybe
experience
started
in
Relay
photography
for
or
Life,
being a
but he didn't.
photographer,
Dr.
there's a lot
Klatt
of
started
psychology
it.
in it.
And then
There's a lot
along
of
about
psychology.
92,
How does that
American
person
Cancer
feel
Society went,
with you,
wow,
shoving a big
this
piece
is
of
working.
glass
This is
and metal
amazing,
in
yeah.
their face?
So it
and
became
saying,
their signature
"Smile."
event.
Right.
It
You
went
know,
global
and,
in
do it
'95.
now,
I mean,
you know,
just
right.
from this one
And so,
guy.
like,
So it's in all kinds of different
there
countries
are
now.
a lot of
So it's not
barriers.
just here. They're 35
that you have to
different
kind of
countries.
break through.
Now, how long has it been
relationally,
going on
and
here
then
in Sierra Vista?
eventually you kind
This
of
will
have to tap
be
in
our
a little bit
31st year,
psychologically
so
and be able to understand
yeah,
like
Sierra Vista has
they're
done
self-conscious about
done
this.
proud
They don't like this
in
anymore.
representing
Or,
Relay for
back
Life.
a couple years
That's
ago
awesome.
with a different photography.
And
they
this
had
is all going down again at Veterans
and I had a
Memorial
bad experience
Park.
with my pictures
We
were
want to
all
kind of take
bad,
a quick
and,
break,
I don't
come
want
back to
duplicate
this.
that.
We'll talk
You know,
more
they're paying
about,
money for
you know,
this.
again, the
And,
events and the you different find that most activities people there, are but a we'll be little, right back. I
Keeping it
guess,
real.
self-conscious about things. I mean, at least from my perspective, it seems like a lot of people don't like their picture taken, or they don't think they're very photogenic.
It starts from like a place of when you think of the last photo you had taken of yourself.
Yeah.
It was probably you at a social gathering. You had probably nacho dip hanging out your mouth. You know, one eye was winky and the other eye was kind of open, looking the other way. You know what I mean? And like your guts, you know, you're kind of like slouched over maybe, and your guts showing, or you know, whatever the scenario is.
Yeah.
That's what
Not
most
always
people-
flattering.
Yes, not the most flattering thing. And so like that's kind of like where people start when it comes to photography. It's like when they think of that, yeah, they think of that. It's like, dude, and now it's blasting all over. It's my, you know, my aunt's, you know, profile picture, and I'm in the background, looking like that. You know what I mean? Like
That's kind of a hurdle for you,
so there's like a little bit of trust building there, right?
All right, welcome back to Keepin' It Real, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios. I am here joined with Tammy Sappho and Janet Morlock, and we're talking Relay for Life, the 2025 Relay for Life of Sierra Vista on Saturday, October 25th, and it's 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. And it's all going down at Veterans Memorial Park.
And
now,
you know,
we talked about the history, which is amazing,
you know,
31 years. That's hard to believe that we've been doing
I'll
it
take a
that
couple
long.
photos. I'll show them.
What about
Okay,
you're raising
look how great
funds?
this one
How
is.
do those
And then if
get
they're
used?
like, hey,
Where do they go for?
you know, if
What's
maybe
the
I
impact
like that
there
photo,
for our
and then they
community?
see maybe
So
what they're
the
self-conscious
funds are
about.
used for
Like, oh, man, can
research.
you do something about
They're also
X?
used for
And
patient
it's like,
services
yeah, no,
and
thank
also
you for letting me know.
advocacy. It's
We can-
very
we can navigate
important.
through
We
that.
do,
And,
obviously, we
and-
do
and
not have a
whatever the
research
technique
center
and
here in
process
Sierra
is,
Vista.
Right.
But I
can
want to
kind of
tell you a
surmount
very short
any
story.
kind of obstacle.
I
you
know someone very
whether
personal
it's
to
an
me
eye, whether it's a
who
size, whether it's
research is helping,
you know,
and
just
he's
whatever
one of
someone
many.
has.
He
Because
went
everyone
through
has it.
40
Everyone
rounds of
has
radiation.
something
He
everybody
was
does.
told
Wow.
that they don't
he
like
was
or
he
feel
couldn't
self-conscious
do
about.
radiation
It is funny
anymore.
that you touched on
Research
something though
has
too.
helped.
When you do have
So
a good
within the
photograph,
last year,
when
he's
somebody
been told
actually
that, you
catches
know what,
that, and
if
you're
it
like,
comes
wow,
back,
that's the best
they
I've ever
can
looked.
dial it in,
You know,
and
you're kind of shocked
and
that
use
ended up
radiation
you.
again.
You know, and
So
you're like, wow,
research
that's
is
amazing.
profound.
Because most
We
people take
have
crappy pictures
grants
of you.
that are
Exactly.
given to
Or of
doctors,
yourself,
and we've
you know, you're
had
like, oh,
some
man.
in
Exactly. I remember
Arizona
one time
even.
I was
The
out
patient
hunting
services,
and,
we
you know,
have
of
a
course, lots of pictures had
24/7
been taken, and
hotline
then,
that people can
somebody
call
took a
any,
picture, and I
any
was
day
kinda
of
to
the
the
week,
side,
any
to,
hour
you
of the
know,
day,
from behind,
and
and
get
this is a long time
questions
ago.
answered. They
But
can
I was
get
like,
help. They
who's
can
this
get
guy? Just starting
information.
a journey,
They're
they
like,
could
"That's
kind
you."
of touch
Oh my
you into
gosh,
this
I'm
and
fat.
Yes.
learn more about it.
Recognize
They-
yourself.
Yes, and they have, if you're just starting your journey and maybe need a little help with organization, they have a folder that pretty much helps you with doctor
It'll do it.
appointments,
It'll do it.
medication.
I mean, I go
But
through it.
they're
I'm
there
like,
to
oh,
help,
man,
and so this money
need to really
goes
sit up
towards
straight.
that.
You know,
Help me lose weight, though.
It also
Yeah,
goes
maybe it's a
towards
little motivation.
information
So,
for
but
patient
yeah, that's kind of the
services
idea.
and
You know,
early
I
detection,
hear often,
education.
Bill, there's too many options.
So
Like you
we're
take
trying to
too many
remind
photos, too
people,
many good
hey,
photos.
listen,
Like I don't
do
know what
your
to pick. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
annual exams.
I
Women,
wanna
do your
get there.
mammograms,
You know, if I show you
your
a
pap
picture, you're like, oh, that's
smears.
fine.
Men, do your
Yeah.
Ooh,
PSAs.
It's a
Yeah.
four-letter effort.
It's another incident
Four-letter
where
effort in my book,
had a
man.
city
So
worker,
I'm not doing fine here. I'm going for
and
great. I'm going for
the city
best. You know, I'm
allowed
going
for
those
wellness
things.
checks.
And
had they
and
not
so,
done this, this person would
I
not
always
have
joke
been
that way
diagnosed with
in
this
regards to
cancer
that response, 'cause
and
we're shooting
been
again.
as well off
We're
as
shooting
he's
again
doing
if you're
today.
saying
Wow.
fine.
So it makes
What's
a
your favorite kind of
difference.
photography? So that's amazing.
Of all
Is
the things that you've
particularly amazing
shot,
that,
and
you know,
you have a pretty broad
technology
array,
keeps
like you mentioned,
changing,
small
and we
town.
get all these
You gotta do it
breakthroughs,
all,
and so it's
but
kind of neat that we're
what's your
getting
favorite?
My
some
favorite's couples.
ground on
My favorite's
this to
couples,
be able
yeah.
to
Whether
continue
that's
the
just a
the fight a little
straightforward
bit
couple
longer,
shoot, whether
maybe
that's a wedding,
even find
whether
closer
that's
to
a
that
special
cure.
event with
And
just two
as far
people,
as, you know, the
I love
actual event that you host,
I love the
what kinds of things are going to be there?
romanticism
I mean, what kinds
of
of
the
activities
photography,
will we find?
Well, we're going to
the
have a
flare,
DJ
the light
this year,
catching,
DJ Mikey is going to be up there on the stage
and that's
playing
kind of
some music. So we're going to have fun with that. We also we have two great MCs, Sheriff Daniels and Jeff Davenport that'll be up there on the stage helping us out.
Of course.
Along with the mayor will be there representing. But they're up there along with, we have some Sierra Vista Royalty that'll be there as well. And so they're going to help throughout the event.
I'm going to be in the bushes.
So some other things that they're going to be doing are games and activities such as the Frozen T-shirt contest, which is always fun to see. And also hula hooping, we're going to have women of wisdom. We're going to be doing some Zumba.
And
get out there and get out there and get active. One of the best, I would say, activities I think of the event, and I think Janet would agree with me, is Mr. Relay. So we have gentlemen of all ages participate, and they get dressed up in women's clothing, and they lip sync to a song of their choosing for about 30 seconds. And some of them have little dance routines. And so then after they get done, they're interviewed by the MCs and Miss Sierra Vista, Miss Sierra Vista
somebody who's listening right now, we've been talking
once they get done, then they go out
you're all about,
and they solicit for money that goes all back to Relay for Life. And that's a very big fundraiser, and people just have a lot of fun. And that occurs later in the evening, so everybody usually has a pretty good time with that. But they'll be dancing, and we'll have face painting as well. This year we have a youth area that we haven't had in quite some time. And thankfully we have a JROTC teacher that is heading that up, and she has gotten the Sierra Vista youth involved. JROTC, National Honor Society, the Key Club, Student Council. So they're going to be helping out with the kids area. They're going to be a jumping council as well as basketball. And there will be some other games as well. Face painting will be there.
Sounds like fun.
It will be. And then as people are walking around the track, they're going to see what the teams are. They're usually either selling some arts and crafts or some baked goods to raise money, and the money goes towards Relay for Life.
So you have
tell us about the walking part of it. So
using the phone, these teams and whatnot, or even individuals, really, they might have some a little bit of
friends or family or
kind of
somebody
with
who
social
is
media and the way
sponsoring them to walk around the track, or
now have
how does that work?
Well, what happens usually is the teams sign up and they register,
to get
and they
realism
do fundraising. So it could be sponsorship from the local business here in town. It could be a cakewalk. It could be we have the junior ROTC from Tombstone is doing a pennies fundraiser.
If the scenario is perfect,
whatever they want to do. We have, sometimes they do car washes, but they sit there and raise money. And we do have some people that would sponsor, a youth to do so many laps, and they
but it's really got a lot more
options. Hey, I was on a trip,
so they can almost do anything.
They can do anything that they so desire that helps raise money for cancer.
So do some of these guys, if they did say a car wash ahead of time and they raise funds and they raise $500 or whatever, then they just come and present that to you at the day of the event, or how's that?
What happens is we have meetings throughout the year because we're fundraising and trying to coordinate for this event year round. So we have meetings, and so the teams come to the meetings, they can turn in the money, and we have, with technology, it's been really amazing. We have a fundraising app that a lot of people use. You just download it on your phone. American Cancer Society fundraising app. So you can download that, and people can take money through that. They can go online and buy credit card and donate by that as well. And so the teams will come to the meetings, and next Monday we're having our bank night. So they come to the meeting, they turn in their luminarias, they turn in money, they pick up supplies that we get for them for their team site.
People continuing
on that way, but we just have a lot of fun.
Do I view it is.
We're there for a reason, but we're there to also have fun and bring the community together.
And I can totally kind of understand, obviously being a professional photographer, and I've seen your photos.
Let's take a quick break.
When
we come back,
pretty hard to duplicate that.
Maybe you can give us
a cell phone anyway.
How to contact you guys,
the moments,
what's the best way to connect up with you, whether it be websites or other people. We'll get that from them.
Don't know how to
so this is again Dion Ethell.
At the same time,
I'm here with Keepin Real, and I'm here with Tammy Saffo and Janet Morlock from Realty for Life.
Kind of coming to my world,
you know,
exploring it a little bit.
Excellence in real
when I travel,
with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, your premier choice in Cochise County.
And so when I travel,
Sherry's
I do
amazing
use
team brings honesty, expertise, and a deep understanding of the local market. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned homeowner, they're committed to your peace of mind and handle every detail.
When I travel, that's how I take pictures. Because
your approach, personalized service, above and beyond transactional real estate, building lifelong relationships, nationwide connections, local expertise.
I want that.
There's a reason this team is amongst the top realtors in Arizona and across the nation. You owe it to yourself to call or visit the Sherry Ethell Team, the top team at Long Realty, behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more info. Real integrity, real results.
All right, welcome back to Keepin Real. I'm Dion Ethell with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios here. I'm a team realtor, but I'm also the host of the show, and I'm here joined with Tammy Saffo and Janet Morlock from Realty for Life. This is the big Pirates of the Caribbean, I think, is your theme this year, right? You mentioned document on a trip and everything, and I feel like the 2025 Realty for Life of Sierra Vista is going to be a big event. It's Saturday, October 25th from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's when the bulk of the event's going down at Veterans Memorial Park, and you're documenting. Now, we were just talking before the break about a lot of the activities, whereas I've seen some of your shoots. I hear there's something new this year. There's almost feeling in every single one of them that you captured.
We decided that we wanted to kind of up the volume and up the participation a little.
Going from the three-dimensional world to the two-dimensional photograph,
our theme laps,
and talking about the photograph of
you've got to be there when the two
that's what you like
competing JROTCs from Tombstone and Buena. They got out there and they did a shout down cancer last year.
Makes you kind of think about
pretty cool. It was amazing, and it was pretty off the cuff. They didn't really even plan it much.
My goal
is we always do the survivor lap, and you're going to want to be there for that because we're opening up at 2 o'clock, and by 3 o'clock we'll have the survivors. And if you want to feel good about something, and if you want to see strength and resiliency, I know we got to raise money, but my favorite part of Relay is actually that lap.
Well, Bill, it's been a pleasure talking to you today.
I have a picture that you'll probably, that's on my Facebook page right now, and
professional photography to get some for your family, your kids, your dogs,
she
whatever
looks
it
like
might
she's
be.
happy. She looks like she just won the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstake because she's out reuniting with her friends from last year's Relay. And the amount of joy that these people maintain while going through treatment, the amount of happiness.
And Bill, I appreciate you coming on.
Recently I was talking to an oncology nurse, and I asked, how do you do that when you deal with people?
You'll have to come back.
They're not always having good days with you.
Something very specific, maybe.
Her comment was because they're the most upbeat people I've ever been around when it came to nursing.
Well, this is Bill Bonner, Rain Photography.
They come in, they're
Go
happy,
check him
they
out,
smile, they bring us cookies.
Whether you're on Facebook or
so that positivity, that energy flow, kind of lets the rest of us know that we can be anything that we come across. So
makes our problems small. I appreciate it.
So that's the routine stuff that we're going to keep doing forever.
With Keepin It Real, we'll
this
be right
year
back
we decided
these messages.
to pump it up a little with this spectacular chance to win because, well, we want people that are celebrating our survivors, our caregivers. We want people out there enjoying those luminaries. We want people sharing the hope till that very end. So we have a closing lap. We decided that if we did something spectacular at the end of the event, that people would stay.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about that because you're going to be at the event to hear a little more about it. But we've got some great prizes that were donated by some sponsors this year. We've got some items that are going to make for great raffles, great prizes. You're going to want to stay around till the bitter end. We're also going to do some cool stuff because after all, we are the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
We're asking teams to decorate their campsites so we can have a contest for the best pirate-themed decorations.
We may even be dressed as pirates.
And that's where we're going. You bet. And so best costumes.
Awesome.
Because
well,
cancer
folks,
is a
that's
serious
a wrap
topic.
on this week's Keepin It Real radio show. As always, we're so grateful to have you spend part of your Saturday morning with us. Whether you're sipping coffee on the porch, out running errands, or out shopping for a home, we appreciate you.
I can't
if
wait to
something
see
we
what
said
you
today
put on.
sparked a question or
expecting that.
We've got a great topic.
And I do want to let you know, I'll Zumba if you Zumba. So there's a challenge there. I have no grace or coordination, so I just want to throw that out to you. We're just going to keep it upbeat. It's going to be a nonstop action. We'll set you up with a way to win that for our registered participants. So they're going to want to be there. They're going to be dialed in and be part of that. We also have a treasure hunt going on again. It's Pirates, so the treasure hunt's kind of new this year.
Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m.
We have
right here on 97.7 Canyon Country, your first choice for legendary country.
An amazing
then,
treasure
stay
hunt.
safe, stay kind, and as always, keep it real, Cochise County.
Everybody who's got a campsite set up because they're going to be part of the treasure hunt. And when we complete that in the afternoon, everybody can be found all their treasures and has all their stamps. They're going to have a chance in another raffle for another pretty great prizes. So we know that, gifts are motivators,
Absolutely right.
Are you good at Christmas so Santa takes care of you? Gifts are motivators. So I think those are all really cool things for Sierra Vista. That's going to make our 31st